Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Let me just click one more screen here. There we go. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. Broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And hour number one is of course John Regan. Hour number two, of course, is John Regan. But during hour number two, John and I are going to be talking about insurance outrage. So I'd like to give you the number, and I'm going to be telling you a story about how I am frosted with my current insurance company. I just despise these guys. I'm going to tell you the story. And I invite you to call in and tell us your stories. Name the names. Make sure you're accurate. Name the names. And let's talk about what these guys are doing to us, how they're ripping us off. So we'll give you the call-in number, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Trevor's engineering the broadcast. John Regan's with us in Texas. Welcome, John Regan, Studio D.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, John, I am so frosted about this insurance thing. I mean, I am just... And so, here's how I feel about it. The guys in Baltimore who are rioting, they're angry. And they're angry about Freddie Gray's murder. And, they couldn't get any satisfaction. So they started protesting, and, one thing led to another, and they're lashing out, and they're angry, and they find bricks and orange cones, and they start bashing everything in sight. That kind of anger is starting to spread throughout America because Americans are becoming angry. Now, I'm angry about insurance. I'm angry about Lebanon, Missouri, and the way they treated us. And so I'm lashing out. I'm not burning and breaking things, but I am certainly sharing the information about why I would never want to go back to Lebanon, Missouri, how it's off limits to our family. And also, I want to talk about insurance and what happened to me and how I have been a victim of this insurance charade. And I'd like to talk about what we can do about avoiding being a victim. I'm going to expose some of the things that happened and what these insurance companies do to us. So that's hour number two, John. And so hour number one is, boy, you've got a lot of news for us, right?
And that's left over from last week.
Yeah. All right, let's go right into it.
Okay, I've put one article under health that I found interesting. I've entitled the link "To Die For," and it talks about a skin clinic that uses laser light. This is in New York. That before you get treatment, you have to sign a coroner's release, in case you die. Now, laser light is pretty non-invasive as far as it goes. And it brings back some memories, too. It's probably about 15 years ago, Becky and I had LASIK done. And we're sitting there in the doctor's office, right before the surgery, and we're having to sign these waivers, and you're going through the list of side effects, and, one of them says death. Makes you wonder, do I really want to do this? It's one of those things people are willing to do for vanity too, because, this is just basically a skin scrub.
John, I was looking at the image. So class, if you want to follow along, just go to thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and click on the news tab, and you'll see this very pretty girl when you click on the link that we're talking about for the laser treatment. You'll see this pretty girl performing a laser treatment on this other pretty girl. Now, the girl who's doing the treatment, she looks like she needs the laser treatment more than the other girl, right? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing how, you look at the professionals in the medical industry and they're trying to help you, but they look like they need it more than we do? Yeah. Okay.
Or how the doctors don't do vaccines for their families.
Yeah. That's exactly right. We've got, is it Say or Cy in, where are you from, Cy?
Arkansas.
Cy from Arkansas. Okay, so you'd like to talk about what?
Okay, the insurance back in the 60s.
Oh, Silent Night. Shoot.
Yeah.
I recognize your voice. Okay.
Don't shoot.
Welcome, Silent Night.
Back in the 60s, my grandparents had a TV. And I watched a movie where the mobs in Chicago had taken over and they sent enforcers out. You had to pay your tithes to the enforcers. And I thought, I'm never going to do that. No matter what I do, I'm never going to do that. Well, 20 years later, I was paying these mobs. And I was upset about why should I have to pay these characters. Well, it took me another 20 years to realize that these same people that were running Chicago are now in the insurance business. And they are sending their enforcers out. They call them police officers, but they work for the corporation. And if you don't have your insurance, these enforcers will make you pay. And I don't know, 5-7 years ago, I just quit paying the enforcers, and I quit paying the insurance companies, and it's unbelievable how much money you got left over.
Well, that's a really good point, Cy, because I was so angry, and I'll tell the story the second hour, about the insurance on our farm, that I said to Mrs. Finelli, I just want to dump it. We don't have a mortgage. So we don't have to have, insurance on the farm. And we don't hire people to work here, so what's the big deal? And, we're conned into thinking that we have to have insurance. We have to have, it's such a litigious society that we've got to protect ourselves from being sued. Well, I said to Mrs. Finelli, okay, look, $2,000 of homeowners insurance on average for all these years, 20 years, 30 years, $60,000 we gave to these bums. And then add in and virtually no claims. And then the auto insurance, $3,000 a year to those bums and no claims, and just put a claim in and see what happens. Just put a claim in and just watch what happens. And the uninformed, the ignorant who work at these offices, and you call them and say, well, I've got a claim. They don't say, whoa, don't even think about putting a claim in. Your insurance will double. They don't tell you that.
Yep.
They don't tell you.
Well, and you have to be careful. If you shut down your insurance in kind of an angry way, you will find out that, let's say you shut down your homeowner's insurance. Well, these people hire people to come around and make sure that your neighbor pays their insurance because your house is going to burn down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's when the the return fire starts. And I'm saying, when these people commit arson, that's unacceptable here at our farm. Absolutely unacceptable. And, Cy, I am watching the absolute crumbling of the United States of America, the country that I love, from a bunch of just a few egocentric sociopaths, psychopaths, defective people who somehow have wiggled their way into telling us what to do. And unfortunately, some of us actually listen to them and follow the rules and ordinances, and the rest of us don't. But, there's going to come a time when, and you talked about the enforcement. I was talking about this weekend about the redcoats and how the colonists, were invaded by the redcoats. And then some of the colonists some of the redcoats might have been actually nice, but they were sent over here, and then they started burning the villages down, the colonist villages. And then pretty soon the colonists said, wait a minute, it's those redcoats. And then they started treating all the redcoats as the same because their villages were being burned down. They were being attacked and harassed by people in red coats. And so then it was open season on redcoats. I mean, they're all the same. They're burning the villages down. Well, I think the same thing is going to happen with the bluecoats. And that's what I mentioned this weekend. Now, it's incumbent upon the bluecoats who actually might be nice to police themselves and say, look, to the rest of those thugs in blue coats, you better knock it off because they may miss. They may miss and hit me.
Yeah.
And I mean that because the blue coats are out of control right now. And I keep hearing people say, yeah, but 95% of them are good. Really? Over the weekend, I was on a 400-mile trip. I bought some things for the farm. And I saw a Missouri Highway Patrol hiding. So he was at the top of a really long hill, and he was sniping with his radar to those coming down the hill, where he could get, a good shot at them where they couldn't see him. And so I kept flashing my lights and flashing my lights and flashing my lights to warn all the oncoming traffic that were being sniped by this guy. Now, I have a feeling that that's illegal in Missouri to warn people about the police ahead, but I wasn't warning them about the police ahead. What I was warning them is there was a car off to the side of the road that they might hit, and I wanted to make sure that no one, hit that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was all about. Si, do you have something else that you'd like to say?
Nah, there's a lot of other people probably want to call in.
Okay, well, Si, meet up tonight if you're going to attend. We'd love to see you. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
That was Si, the Silent Night from Arkansas. John Regan's with us. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA Plus. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Captain John Regan's with us. TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com, TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com. Next hour, we're going to talk about insurance. So if you'd like to call in, I'll give you the number, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. John Regan, what's next?
Well, as we slide from health into preparedness, I just want to relay something. I'm sure you've listened to the radio or on commercial TV where they have these pharmaceutical commercials. You know, the ones where the disclaimer's longer than what they say the product's for, and you start to wonder, what was this product again? If you want to have some fun, and like if you're in a car going on a trip somewhere, and one of these come on the radio, and it gets to that disclaimer part, where they're talking fast and low and getting in all the the side effects that can happen. And your best fast announcer voice say, minor death may occur.
Right. Right.
And if somebody's taking a drink in the middle of that, you may have to clean up.
So why are we taking these chemical compounds? Why are we taking them? John, I was somehow duped into having a colonoscopy many years ago. And so I'm lying down and they gave me this multi-page sheet to review. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. And death? And I'm supposed to sign this. I said, you guys are just looking, right, with that. And if you look at that hose they have, it looks like something you might have in your backyard, that you'd water the garden with. And you have to wonder, what in the heck are these guys doing? And yeah, one of the complications of a colonoscopy can be death. And Dr. Shealy, I asked him on the air if they sent me a reminder, a gentle reminder that they want to see me back. And I asked him what he thought, and he's, bottom line for me was no. So it's no. So I'm going to try to stay away from those guys if I can. I'm talking about doctors, hospitals, medical offices. That's where people go when they're sick. So why would I want to go there, right? So what's next, John?
Well, there was another Prepper Expo that happened recently called PrepperCon. Mm-hmm. And it made international news. I've got an article there from the Daily Mail. And they say that hundreds of people flocked to this expo.
Yeah, actually, John, they said the headline was thousands. The original headline that for PrepperCon in Utah, Prepper, C-O-N, was thousands. And then when you open the article, it's hundreds. And then when you look, it looks like, like 50.
I guess if you want to get international attention like this, you need to have people come in and dress like zombies.
I saw the video of this buffoon on stage in a ghillie suit dancing around. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. It made me more angry than when I watched Doomsday Preppers for the first time in John Stadtmiller's living room. And I saw people acting out on television, saying they were preppers. And I said to John Stadtmiller, "There's no one I know." We had our event. This was in the early years. We had our first event, maybe even our second one. I said, "I don't know anybody who acts like this." I was so angry when I came back from Texas to Missouri. I called Washington, D.C., National Geographic, and I wanted to talk to them about Doomsday Preppers. They had no idea what I was talking about. I said, your TV show, Doomsday Preppers. They had no idea what I was talking about. I got transferred a couple times. Finally, they said, oh. Yeah, that's Sharp Entertainment out of New York City. They do that. They do the Doomsday Preppers thing for us. So Doomsday Preppers is really not National Geographic. It's carried on their channel, but it's done by an organization called Sharp Entertainment. And I know who these guys are. I've had them on the air with us. And you know what? They're not prepared. The people who I know from Sharp Entertainment are not prepared for any emergencies at all. It's entertainment. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Positive results from satisfied customers of Heart and Body Extract continue to pour into our website, hbextract.com.
This is Al from New Jersey. One day I saw your ad for Heart and Body Extract, and it mentioned that it would help me with angina, so I decided to order. I figure I had nothing to lose.
Heart and Body Extract supplies your body with everything it needs to balance itself and maintain optimal heart and circulatory health with no negative side effects.
I took the formula 3 times a day as directed, and I kid you not, within 4 days, my angina pain was completely gone.
Order HB Extract by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
I could not believe it actually stopped the pain. Heart and Body Extract actually works. This is just an amazing product. Even the numbness in my hands is completely gone.
Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. Tonight we have a meetup at Jimmy's Egg. Jimmy's Egg, 445 in Springfield, Missouri. Information's on the website. John Gore is going to be talking about Inside the Police Department. This will be part 4 of Inside the Police Department. Questions and answers. And of course, I will give my take on the news. That's tonight. And we give away a free dinner. We have a drawing for a free dinner, so someone gets a free dinner every Monday night at Jimmy's Egg. 4:45 to 8 p.m. John Regan?
Wish I could be there. Let me go quickly through the rest of the items in the preparedness section. The second link, I posted a link to the schedule of classes, and they had up to 5 at a time. And the third link entitled a Good Way to Get Killed. And this is an article in the Inquisitor that is supposed to be helping you out. And it gets down to the survival tips and talks about, if things go bad, ditch city life and, bug out to the countryside, essentially. Well, if you don't have any skills, if you're fortunate enough to get out of town, you're not going to make it. Bring supplies. Government says 3 days, but most people say 2 weeks to a month. That's, again, not going to be enough. Don't forget the medicine, batteries, arm yourself. It's like they have no clue. Now, the fourth article, 12 More Ways, is actually a decent article from the organic prepper, Daisy Luther. 12 bad strategies that get preppers killed. Number 1, I'll just hunt and live off the land. Number 2, I'll go into the woods and live there. And we can discuss these when I get through the list. Number 3, I'll bug out on foot for 73 miles through the mountains, even though I don't regularly exercise. Number 4, I don't need a group. I'm going to go it alone. Number 5, I don't need to store food. I'll just take from everyone else because I'm a bad you-know-what. Number 6, I have lots of weapons and tools, but I've never used them. Number 7, I don't store food. I store seeds. Number 8, I'll just run a generator and continue like nothing ever happened. Number 9, I'll just use my fireplace for cooking and heating. Number 10, I'm going to hunker down in the city and scavenge for what I need. Number 11, I've got my supplies, and now I don't need to think about gloom and doom. And number 12, we'll set up a perimeter and shoot anyone who breaches it.
Yeah. Yeah. John, I know people have said these things. I really do. And would you like to address this now? Would you like to go through these 12, or did you want to continue?
Well, I don't want to get into detail on them because we could take the rest of the show easily just on that one article. But I think it's something we should talk about. And if you want to go ahead and start.
Okay. The first one in the article is 12 bad strategies that will get preppers killed. First of all, I don't like the word preppers, but we'll use their term. I like survivalists. But okay, so bad strategy number 1, I'll just hunt and live off the land. John, opening day of deer season, that's when all the deer get killed. Day number 2, there's hardly any left. That's the second day. So if we're looking at surviving by living off the land, there'll be a massive kill-off of animals. Massive. And we've had it here in Missouri before, in the 1950s. There were hardly any deer left. And it took 6 decades to get them back. It's absolutely true. So if we think we're going to live off the land, that's a bad strategy. And just because someone has a gun, a rifle, and is going to kill some deer or turkey or rabbit or squirrel, it's really going to be tough after the first week.
Yeah, we have over 300 million Americans and a little over 30 million deer. So even if you got all of them, that's only, 1 deer for every 10 people.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then the next strategy is I'll go into the woods and live there. I know some survival expos that teach people how to build huts and shanties out of twigs and leaves and live in the woods. Let me tell you what, it's not a great idea. Because number 1, in the winter it's really cold, and in summer there's all kinds of bugs. It's miserable, absolutely miserable to try to do that. And then, bug out on foot and go into the mountains. Well, that's a great idea until you go to the mountains. I live in the mountains. I live in the Ozark Mountains. And it's pretty rough here. And if you don't have what you need before you get here, you're going to have a really tough time. Really tough. It's pretty harsh. And if you don't exercise, just take a 2-mile walk. You want to have some fun? Just bring a bag of sugar with you or a bag of flour. Just carry it. Just carry that. 4 pounds. And carry that on your 2-mile walk and see how much you like it. Right, John?
Yeah, I remember when I was in Boy Scouts and, we went for, 10 miles in the woods, and that was without a backpack, just carrying a canteen. Right.
And then you don't need a group. You're going to go it alone? Really? What happens if 4 guys come up to where you are and say, "Hey, it's pretty neat. Thanks for making this little shanty for us. We really like it. As a matter of fact, we like it more than you do. You're out of here, or we'll kill you." Expect that. So going it alone isn't going to work either. And then you don't need to store food. Just take everyone else's. I know a guy who's a cop or a former cop. I have zero respect for this guy. And I've heard him say he trains people on how to kill. Literally, that's what he does. He trains people on how to shoot and kill and where to shoot them. I have zero respect for him. And I've heard him say, I don't need to prepare. I got me a gun. I'll just take what I need from others who have it. So there you have a former man in blue who says that he'll take from others. Oh, by the way, where else did he work? He worked at a fusion center. So here we have a guy that worked at a fusion center, a former cop, and he has a gun, and he'll just take what he needs or what he wants because he has a gun. So he's saying that he's willing to kill people for what they've got. That's a bad strategy number 5. So you need to have what you need before you need it, in my opinion. I've got lots of weapons and tools. I've never used them, but I have them. That's another thing. I know people who have all kinds of weapons. Well, we'll call them all kinds of rifles and handguns. But they don't use them. I've talked to some of our friends and I'd say, are you armed? Oh, no. So, okay. Do you have a handgun? Yeah. Is it on you? No. Okay. So what if you need it? Well, I'll go get it. Where is it? Oh, it's back home. And number 7.
Kind of like Barney Fife. Put that bullet in the gun when you need it.
Right. A revolver too. And I don't store food. I store seeds. John, we spent the entire day yesterday, the family. I had a front end loader on a tractor, a 4-wheel drive tractor, and I was scooping up buckets of topsoil. And we put them into this raised bed garden that we built last year. So we have this, these blocks. You saw it in the backyard, all those blocks and to form a raised bed garden. Well, we put the dirt in it over the weekend. Now, 3 of us were working with a tractor and a bucket, and it took all day just to add the topsoil, pick the rocks out of the topsoil, haul the rocks away with the front end loader, put in peat moss, put in wood ashes from the wood stove, and then I'm going to put the lime in there, and then I'm going to rototill it. So we're not done. We're not done with the raised bed garden. It took 3 people one day just to get ready. Well, almost get ready to plant seeds. So we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're planting the seeds, but that's coming. That's in the next couple of days. So that's, storing seeds, that's great. Just try growing a garden, see how easy it is. I keep hearing it's easy, but boy, to me, it's a little harder than that. How about you, John?
No, it's kind of funny. I don't remember which expo it was, but I was, in there before, we opened for the day, and I was in front of Mike Knox, and of course he had a seminar to do. And so, what are you going to talk about? All you got to do is put a seed in the ground, come back later, and get the harvest. And of course, he got a great laugh out of that. But it's work, and it takes skill, and even people that do gardens. If you're just doing gardens with hybrid seeds, then you're not practicing the other end of it of saving seeds and making sure that those saved seeds are good. And this is kind of like one of the more critical things, food, water, and shelter. And if you don't have those down, you're asking for it.
John, we have a neighbor who has a really neat trailer, and this trailer has 2 axles, and it's a dump bed trailer. So you can pull this from a truck, and then you can use the dump feature to dump whatever you put in the trailer. Now, he went out into the woods. He's got, let's say 500 acres or so. And he's got some trees that he's cut down and he's stacked. And he brought them back to his home for heating. Well, they've been lying around for a couple years. And the bugs have eaten these logs that he's cut. So his wife said, boy, these are going to light easily. Well, yeah. They are. And she was trying to say, yeah, they're going to light easily, but there's not many BTUs left because the bugs have eaten the wood. So if you think you're just going to light your fireplace and start cooking and eating, good luck with that. You won't believe how much wood you use. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
You pick up the receiver. With your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead, you finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the US dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Captain John Regan's with us. Next hour, we're going to be talking about insurance. So if you've got some insurance complaints and you want to let everybody know about how you've been hosed by the insurance industry, give us a call next hour, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. John Regan's with us. John, and we're talking about bad strategies. And the 10th bad strategy is I'm going to hunker down in the city and scavenge what I need. Well, there's going to be a plague of locusts in the city. Everything will be taken. And just think of it like Baltimore. Think of it like Ferguson, windows being broken, people looting, taking whatever they need. Once the first window's broken, the subsequent windows being broken is real easy. And so there'll be, first will be the light things, and then the TVs and all that stuff will be looted, and food and water and drinks and so forth. And pretty much there'll be just carcasses, and then there'll be fires, and the fires will rage on, and there'll be blood in the streets. So scavenging what we need is a bad strategy. And then the next strategy, number 11, is I've got my supplies and I don't need to think about doom and gloom. Well, I know a lot of people who feel that way. And they don't want to. They just don't want to think about bad things. Well, really? How was Baltimore before the rioting? How was it? Well, it was probably a lot more calm, right? How was Ferguson before the rioting? A lot more calm. How was Joplin before the tornado? Well, these things are happening. And they continue to happen, and they're happening at a faster and faster rate. And that's been referred to as the quickening, increasing frequency at an increasing rate. So, and then the bad strategy number 12, we'll just set up a perimeter and shoot anyone who breaches it. Well, okay. Now what do you do with all the bodies? Yeah. And I met a guy, John, who wanted to join the army, and he couldn't wait to get his hands on a machine gun and start killing people. I couldn't believe it. And I said, you think you're going to be the only one with a machine gun? You don't think the other team's going to have a machine gun? And you think when you open up on them, they're not going to try to kill you? He came back after a year on leave, and he said, wow, that's horrible. I can't wait to get out of there, and I'm never going to re-enlist. It's nuts. People are trying to kill me. Yeah. Yeah, we're going over there and invading them and with our machine guns, and they don't like it all that much, right? The other team. Well, that's what's going to happen here in the United States, in my opinion. I think these uniformed guys are going to be they're going to be a little bit surprised when they're all treated the same by our team, because we don't like being invaded. We don't like being pushed around. As a matter of fact, what we really want is, we want Mayberry. We want to be left alone. We really do. That's what we want. So, John, just as a quick suggestion, I recommend that if you see a cop on the side of the road and, he's got his radar gun going, he's looking to pick people off, instead of ducking, tell everybody, warn everybody that's coming his way. Warn them that he's off there on the side of the road, and just for their own safety, that they don't hit him by accident, by not seeing him because he's hiding. Warn him that there's a guy up there. That's my recommendation. Yeah, I mean, just to keep everybody safe. I mean, that's what they tell us. That's why, Janet Napolitano said it. She said it best. If you see something, say something. So if you see someone who's off on the side of the road, and it might be a policeman in trouble, so just let everybody know that there's a policeman there. He might be it might have a flat. Who knows? So if you see something, say something. So he doesn't get hit. What do you think, John?
I just want to remind you that after the event, if we end up in that police state mode, don't worry about being stopped for traffic violations. Your car will turn yourself in.
Yes, your new car will turn yourself in, right? Yeah, with all the features that they're building into new cars. Why would anybody want to buy a new car? That's insanity. Absolute insanity. Buy an electric car and get cooked with electromagnetic radiation? Buy a car that's got all these computer communications? Man, that's crazy. John Regan and I'll be right back right after top of the hour news and commercial announcements, and we're going to be talking about insurance. And you can call in with your insurance story, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. This is our chance to let them have it. Tell your story when we get back.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Watch the greenbacks
Everyone all set and cocked, locked. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAprepares.com. Captain John Regan's with us. And we thought we'd talk a little bit about insurance for this hour. What do you think, John?
You mean legalized gambling?
Well, you know, actually, you're right on the money. It is legalized gambling. It absolutely is. And do you have a story you'd like to share, or do you want me to start?
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Well, you know, we have a farm here in Missouri, and we have a farm policy, and we have our auto policy, and our insurance keeps going up. Well, the reason we have insurance is the purpose of insurance is to indemnify the insured against a loss. I mean, that's what it's for, to put you back where you were before the event happened minus your deductible. That's really what it is. Well, in 2011, we had a wind and hailstorm. In 2012, we had a wind and hailstorm. And we have multiple barns on the property, and they have steel roofs. Well, the wind and hail was so strong, it ripped the roofs partially off 2 of these barns. One was in 2011, and the other was in 2012. So we call the insurance agent, and you know, that guy's never around. our insurance agent, it's the Farm Bureau. In my opinion, the worst insurance company on the planet. That's my opinion. And so I call my agent. He's never there. I don't know if he likes golf. I don't know if what he does, but he's never available. And in all the years we've had the Farm Bureau, I've been able to talk to him when I call him one time. He's just not there. Now, one of the things that you can judge your insurance company by is the access you have to your agent. Well, this guy's not available, so I can't judge them very well. And this is the Farm Bureau in Mansfield, Missouri. Now, they have a lovely gal that works there. I mean, she's very helpful and very kind. However, she can't do everything because sometimes she has to ask for the agent, and he's just not there. Well, in 2011, we had this hailstorm. We call up and I say, hey, we had a hailstorm and then we had some damage and okay, here's the claims number. So you call the claims number. And the guy comes out and he looks around and takes some pictures and he says, okay, we'll get back to you. They sent us a check for $757. $757. I can't get anybody up on the roof to walk around and say, wow, here's what the damage is for $757. So in 2012, we had another one, and we got a check for $1,348. So we get two checks amounting to about $2,000. There's no way we can get the materials and have the new materials put on to replace the damaged materials and haul away the stuff that's left over for $2,000. Impossible. And here's what happened. Our insurance goes up. Why? Because we had a claim. So I called to see if we could get this guy to come out. Well, the guy that came out, the original adjuster, he's not in that job anymore. He got promoted. Now, if you think about it, in my way of looking at things, of course he got promoted because he has been holding down the payments for the indemnification of the losses for the Farm Bureau. So he is not your friend. He's like the guy you're doing battle with. He is your enemy, preventing you from being indemnified against your loss. That's my opinion. So I find out he gets promoted, and so this guy that comes out in his replacement says, whoa, man, oh man, he offered you way too much money. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have given you that much. I looked at him like, are you out of your mind? He said, well, maybe you can get the Amish. I said, okay, so who are they? Meaning, maybe you can get the Amish to come fix this. I said, okay, who are they? Well, he doesn't know. But they're out there. So he's recommending that we have some people do the job because they're willing to climb roofs and that kind of thing. But how do we get them? How do we get them to give us an estimate? Well, we don't know that. And then he said to me, I said, there's no way I can get this fixed for that amount of money. He said, well, prove it. I said, no, you prove it. You prove you can get it done. And he can't. So what I'm saying is these insurance companies have taken advantage of us for a long time. Our homeowners insurance is like $4,000 a month. I'm sorry, a year. $4,000 a year. I'm thinking, why are we paying for this? Back in 1979, I bought my first home. It was a fixer-upper. It was an old Victorian home, and it needed to have the walls were cracked, so I took the plaster and lath off and put it in buckets and insulated the house and put plumbing and a heating system in it and did all kinds of work on it. And while I was doing that, I had my tools and I had a full-time job. I was a systems analyst for a Fortune 100 company. Then I became a financial analyst for that same company. And so I'm working full-time and I'm going for my master's at night. And on the weekends, I'm rehabbing this house. It's an old farmhouse from, like the 1890s. So I have my table saw, my Craftsman table saw. I have my DeWalt radial arm saw and some other tools that I bought used. And I'm working on this house on the weekends. And I go to the house on Saturday, and the window's partially open in the front. And I look, and the window is jimmied, and my saw was gone. My radial arm saw was gone. So I called the cops. I said, hey, someone broke into my house and stole some of my tools. And so they took pictures and they said, yeah, it really looks like it was done because the window was jimmied and the lock was broken and so forth. And so I called Allstate and they said, prove it. And I said, well, How do I prove something's missing? So lots of calls to Allstate, and this went on for months and months and months. And so I showed them pictures of, the progress, and I showed them that, this is what the saw was when I had it. And this is, the progress of the work, and this is the saw that's gone now, and here's the police report. And Allstate just ran me ragged. And finally I called up and I talked to a manager, and I said, I was watching TV last night. This was back in the 70s when I was stupid enough to watch TV. I said, I saw your commercial. It says I'm in good hands with Allstate. But so far, all I've gotten from you guys is the finger. He actually thought that was so funny that they decided to pay the claim for this table saw. It was like $179. But it took months of fighting and fighting and fighting with Allstate. So I've had it fast forward to current situation with the Farm Bureau, and I absolutely despise the Farm Bureau of Missouri. And I'm trying to get this claim settled, but I haven't cashed the checks because they're inadequate. And, you cash the check and then the claim's settled. Well, I'm certainly not willing to do that. I'm certainly not willing to settle for less than full indemnification minus the deductible. So I spent Friday and I called a whole bunch of insurance companies to get a quote to throw overboard the Farm Bureau. And I said, I'm looking forward. The reason I'm calling you is because I have a miserable insurance company. I have 2 claims, and I have cashed neither check, and they go back to 2011 to 2012. And I would like to throw them overboard. There was nothing that would give me greater pleasure than throwing the Farm Bureau of Missouri overboard and going to another insurance company. So Allstate called me back, and after I filled out the application on the phone, which took maybe 45 minutes, Social Security number, all that kind of stuff. Try getting insurance without Social Security number. You can't do it. So they base the rates on your credit worthiness. How about that? So if you have a lousy credit score, you're going to pay higher insurance premiums than if you have a great credit score. Well, anyway, we have a great credit score. It's over, I think it's 813. It's good enough. Considering we haven't had a job since the 1989. Anyway, Allstate calls me back and they said, Mr. Finelli, we're so upset. We can't offer you insurance. You're high risk. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, you have 2 claims. I said, those 2 claims, $757 and $1,348 for the roof that was ripped off, that we can't get replaced for or repaired for that amount of money, and we haven't cashed the checks? And they said, yeah, that's exactly right. You're high risk. We can't insure you. So here we have insurance to indemnify us against the loss. Allstate won't take us because we're high risk. This is storm damage. I didn't do this. It's not like I accidentally burned my barn down. It's not like we had a pipe burst because of, my carelessness. It's not like that. A storm came by and ripped the roof off. And now I'm a high risk because I have 2 claims. And the insurance agent is never there. And he said, hey, Vinny, he didn't say, Vinny, listen, don't put this claim in because if you do, your insurance is going to double, which it did. And you'll never be able to get insurance with anybody else again. He didn't say that. He didn't say that because he's never there. And the girl that works for him, who's in the office, who is there, didn't tell us either. So Farm Bureau is to me, is the worst insurance company on the planet. And let me add an exclamation point to that. That's the same insurance company that was running around with Bill Rybolt, a Missouri state representative. The Farm Bureau and he were running around together saying, hey, listen, you need to support the Right to Farm Amendment in Missouri, the right to farm. So you have the right to farm. We already had a right to farm. But no, the Farm Bureau is in bed with a state representative selling us out. Selling us out by saying to people, you have the right to farm. Vote for the right to farm. Vote for the right to farm. You have a right to farm. We already had a right to farm. But now the new right to farm amendment makes it subject to the Board of Health. Now the Board of Health can tell us what to do. The Farm Bureau sold us out. So, if you don't think that your claims affect your premiums. You're delusional. So now, what do we do to stop feeding this beast? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to dump my homeowner's insurance, and I'm going to take my auto insurance down because, you know, I have full coverage. So if I have full coverage and someone is in an accident, I put a claim in, they're going to increase my insurance anyway. So if I have coverage, I wouldn't use it because they'll stick it to me with increased insurance premiums. So why would I have full coverage? This is nuts. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I've wasted money on insurance. I believe they were good people who would honor their commitments and indemnify me against losses for which I was insured. Father, I was duped. Father, I have sinned. I've wasted money on insurance. Can you help me make it right with the Almighty? Father, I'll do better and start treating insurance companies like the crooks they are. I'm going to do a whole bunch of commercials like that. Bless me, Father. Get ready for the Bless Me, Father commercials. And you know, we have sinned. We have wasted money. We have lied, accepted lies as truths from banks, from governments, from businesses. And we need to protect ourselves from these guys, and we need to expose them. So, John Regan, do you have an insurance story?
I sent you a document during the top of the hour break that comes out of the anti-theft system that we have on our car. And because we had to get a car and get a loan for that, of course, we have to have full coverage insurance. And because the finance company has a lien on the vehicle, they have superior property rights to ours and force us to have that insurance. And I'm hoping I'll get a chance for this tomorrow. I doubt it because there's so much news. I really want to talk about lien and alienable. We really need to know what these words are, and because they're important to our American way of life. But getting back to the car, you'll see in that report, and this is the anti-theft system, not the black box that the car company is keeping track of even more of what you're doing. This is a report on every time the engine's turned on and off, it gives a location, and on certain highways, it lets you know if you exceeded the speed. So I gave you this report, the 4 days of going to the expo and back. And during those 4 days, I got flagged for speed threshold exceeded almost 30 times. And the highest speed on there is like 68 miles an hour or 69 miles an hour. On a section of interstate in Missouri that has a 70 mile an hour speed limit. I'd still like to know how that happened. But the point is, you know, if your car reports that you've speeded nearly 30 times, do you think you're still going to be able to afford to drive? Or are you going to be forced into one of those self-driving cars?
Yeah, or are you going to be forced into an insurance pool that's high risk? George in New Hampshire, you're on with Captain John Regan and me, Vin Finelli.
Hi, Vin, and hello, John. Well, Vin, you've been hanging around John long enough. I think you're starting to push my buttons.
And by the way, Jeff is on hold, and we'll get to you in just a minute, Jeff. Yeah, please continue, George.
All right, I just want to say a few quick points. One thing is that the insurance companies play the averages where they figure if they stonewall a claim for like a year, 80% of the people will fold. So right off the bat, they play that game. The other 20%, if, say, you just want, say, 30% extra, they'll spend 40 or 50% extra just to beat you out of the insurance that you actually paid. And you paid for a higher class of insurance figuring, well, I'm covered. But then they treat you like you got the bargain basement insurance, and they play the averages because they purposely stonewall it. The other thing I'll tell you is watch out for your insurance brokers, because a lot of them, they keep the cost down, and the company rewards them at the end of the year.
That's exactly what I was saying during the first segment of this hour, that the guy who came out originally to give us he was the adjuster. He held the payment down to way below what it would cost to even get somebody out here to look at it, let alone repair it and haul away the damaged materials. Well, he got rewarded. He got promoted. He's the boss. And I said to the new adjuster, yeah, no wonder he's the boss, because he is in the business of withholding payments to the insured. George, do you have something else?
I I would. I don't want to cut into your. I hear the music, so.
Okay, hold the line, George and Jeff from Missouri. You're on after George. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866. If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
Class, meet up tonight, 4:45 to 8, Jimmy's Egg. We're going to be talking about inside the police department with John Gore and, of course, my news analysis. And George from Live Free or Die, state of New Hampshire. Please continue, and then Joe's next.
Okay, Ben, I'll just say quick is, the thing is with these insurance companies too, and the lawyers, a lot of them have a relationship where the lawyer will be told by the insurance company, well, look, we'll throw you these 2 big cases, but we want these 5 cases settled and settled low. And the lawyer you think is working for you oftentimes just wants to move on to the next case, and he'll tell you, oh yeah, you're getting a great offer here, and it's a pittance. And the last thing I'll say, guys like you, me, John, we're honest types where, in other words, look, we get the coverage, a legitimate thing happens, we put in a claim. But there are a certain element that the insurance company seems to respect and reward. These people will arrange certain accidents to happen and then go illegal and lie through their teeth, and they'll get rewarded by the insurance companies. Then they'll turn around with the honest people who are just making legitimate claims, and they know it. And basically, they'll just short shrift us, and that's all I wanted to say, Ben. And thanks again for your good program. Take care.
I appreciate it. And would you mind sending me an email, Vincent at USA Prepares, and your phone number? I'd like to call you off the air.
Sure. Oh, okay, Ben. Thank you.
Vincent at USA Prepares. Hey, thanks, George. And let's see. We've got Joe in Kansas. Oh, Kansas City. Joe in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome.
Hey, Vince. Good to talk to you. I wanted to give people, I was in the insurance industry. I was a property and casualty insurance agent in my 20s. I worked for 3 different companies in that time, and I kind of wanted to speak to what got you in the trouble with the insurance company, from the insurance company standpoint. Anytime you go, and especially when you went to Allstate to try to secure new insurance, anytime that you go and try to secure a new policy with any company, they immediately run what is called a CLUE report. That's CLUE, and that stands for Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Evaluation. And what the CLUE report is it's a database that all insurance companies report to. There's an automobile insurance database, there's a homeowner's insurance database, and the information within the database contains all of your insurance policy history. This was about 10 years ago. I'm not sure how far they go back now, but I know when I was there, they went back 10 to 15 years, depending on what state you were from and you were trying to secure insurance in. And what it has is your start date and your termination date of every policy you've ever had in that time, as well as any claims that you filed in that time, the dollar amount of those claims, and the date of those claims. That being said, each insurance company has different thresholds, underwriting thresholds, meaning in a homeowner's insurance policy, they may say you can have up to 3 claims in a 24-month period, not to exceed $2,000 in that period. So that means if you have 4 claims that still don't exceed the $2,000 threshold, you're going to go to your rate's going to increase. You're going to be dropping to a different underwriting threshold. If you file 1 claim and it happens to exceed the $2,000 threshold, again, you're going to be classed into a different actuarial where you're going to pay a higher rate. And so what I would do, and that speaks to something else, when people try to secure auto insurance and they are not necessarily upfront about that ticket they may have had 4 or 5 years ago, that will absolutely count against you. Every insurance company, before they issue a policy, will run this CLUE report. And if they see that, you had 2 tickets, but you told us you had us none, that actually counts against you in their rating. It may be a point against you, and that's going to increase your rate. They consider it you're not being fully honest with them, and that can actually increase your rate.
Well, so what I would do is, in my case, Joe, and in my case, I have never had an accident ever, and they said that my driving record was as good as it gets, meaning no tickets, none of that stuff. Same with Mrs. Finelli, no tickets, no dings, no dents, no claims, for accidents. But what I said was, I'm interested in finding out what you find out about our driver's record, because I think it's as good as it gets. I mean, that's what I said. But you know, it's interesting, Joe. What you're saying is that this is a game. This is a game, and we don't know the rules.
Exactly.
We don't know.
And that's what the insurance companies count on, that the public is ignorant of how they operate and what information they're using to come up with their decision. And let me tell you something. You can have an absolutely perfect driving record, and your rate may still increase due to the area you live in. The whole basis behind it and the whole idea behind insurance is you're sharing in a risk pool. So in that risk pool, you're going to have your teenage drivers who inherently are going to have more payouts and more claims than, say, you and your wife, who have been driving longer, drive safer cars. Well, again, depending on what company you're with, and that's why I always tell people like you who have been who own property, you have safe drivers. You should be with a premium company. You should not go to the Geicos. You should not go to the Progressives, because you're going to pay a rate to subsidize the bad drivers. You're going to share in the same risk pool as them. There are insurance companies that do directly market and want a specific risk. Like yourself, again, property owners, people with good employment history, people that have been at their homes over 5 years. These are all factors that affect your rate. And what I was going to tell people is, get your insurance policy booklet out and absolutely read through it. Educate yourself on exactly what is covered and what is not. They're usually pretty easy reading. There's not a lot of technical jargon, but if there is, call the customer service line. If you're with an Allstate, a State Farm, where you work with a lot of independent agents, they rarely want to sit down and say they're out making sales. They want to generate more revenue. They don't want to sit there and necessarily take the time with an existing customer and educate them on their policy. So call the customer service line and ask questions and demand answers. Ask for their underwriting thresholds. Go ahead.
What is? Can you give us the names of some premium companies?
Liberty Mutual is a good one, and I actually worked as an insurance counselor with them. So the way they had us set up is I made a straight $50 application fee, no matter if your policy cost $5,000 or $500. Okay, I was there they went after us. We had a lot of lawyer associations, bar associations, university alumni associations that we specifically marketed to and sent them letters in the mail saying, call for your free quote, because we wanted that risk pool. Well, the benefit to them is we did not insure the teenagers. We did not insure the people who had, even average driving records. We wanted the cream of the crop, and I was able to I knew immediately if somebody was with Geico or less, and those are great companies too, don't get me wrong, but they take anybody. And so when they would call, I would see, hey, these guys are low risk, and they're with a company that insures anybody. I knew we were going to beat them on price. I knew immediately I was going to sell that policy because we were going to be a better price, because they're not going to subsidize the people who do have claims. So what I wanted to get through though is anybody can call up their agent or their company and ask what their underwriting thresholds are, and say, how many claims am I allowed in a year, in a 24-month period? You just ask what their underwriting thresholds are for your auto and your homeowner's policy. And they should be upfront with that information. They don't like to give it out, but they will give it out, and you'll know exactly where you stand. What the dollar amount you cannot exceed for your homeowner's insurance to go up, and what the amount of claims are that you cannot exceed, in what time period is for. Because let me tell you something, when you do exceed those, again, those go right into the clue database. You will not be able to secure homeowners insurance with anybody else, or you will pay triple. And I dealt with a lot of frustrated people like that had happened to, like yourself. And it's because the insurance company counts on you being ignorant, of the way they operate. So.
Yeah, well, they actually have really bludgeoned me, and to the point where I'm angry. I'm literally angry with the Farm Bureau Insurance. And, you call to get answers and they don't help you. And, you would think that your agent is, maybe somewhat helpful to you, and maybe he or she would say, listen, I want to keep you as a customer, and here are the things that if you do, it's going to cost you and you probably aren't going to be happy. So here are the things that you should avoid doing. They don't do any of those things. I mean, my insurance agent is like the least helpful person I've ever met. Really.
Yeah, I believe it. And I've seen the industry, the service in that industry go downhill. It's ultimately why I decided to leave the industry. I got to the point where I didn't have faith in the product I was selling. And if I'm not going to sell it to my family or my friends, why would I sell it to a stranger? And that's ultimately what got me out of the industry. I think where that started, Vince, is when the insurance companies started to really lobby Congress and started to lobby the politicians to make their product mandatory. What do you think is going to happen to the quality and the service of a product if I force you to buy it at the end of a gun? Am I going to provide the same quality and the same service to you, or am I going to get away with a cheaper product and a cheaper service? Because now it's mandatory. Now the law says you have to buy auto insurance. If you carry a mortgage, they say you have to carry homeowners insurance. So now that it's mandatory, hey, I don't have to keep up the standards of customer service, of quality, of education to the customer. They have to buy it anyways. And so by nature, that industry's relationship with the customer is going to suffer when you have that much lobbying and that much political influence in that industry.
Joe, you're absolutely correct. And I said to Mrs. Finelli, you know what? For less money than a year's premium, we can put in a sprinkler system in our buildings. We can literally put in a sprinkler system for less money than we would be paying for a year's worth of insurance.
Right.
And I don't mean a lawn sprinkler. I mean, a fire sprinkler system like a commercial building would have. I can certainly do that. And I said, we can put in fire hoses all over the place.
Yep.
And why wouldn't we not? And go ahead.
Well, I've seen a lot of people kind of go that route, to the self-insurance route, where the insurance premiums became so big that it didn't make sense. And remember, the idea of insurance on its face is a little tricky. It's an intangible product, and you're hedging a bet that if it pays off, something bad has happened. So it's almost like you're paying for something that you never want to pay off. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit sticky just on its face. But yeah, one other thing I wanted to get through to people that have homeowners insurance policies is they really need, this is a big one. When it comes to your personal property, if you ever did have a catastrophic fire, flood, or anything that's going to take out, your furniture, your personal property, there's two types of coverage. Yes, sir.
Joe, hold that thought. We're going into a break, and I'd like you to finish that thought. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
I have bought a few bottles of Heart and Body Extract and have to say that it certainly does work.
That's what Jack from Michigan had to say after his experience with heart pain and what he did to treat it with Heart and Body Extract.
I actually had a huge heart flutter. I was also having some edema around my ankles and very worrisome clot in my right leg that would happen from time to time. I was trying to sleep.
Heart and Body Extract is all natural with no negative side effects. It will help repair or correct past problems associated with the heart and body circulation.
After my second bottle of Heart and Body Extract, all problems are now gone.
Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
I ordered a third bottle of Heart and Body Extract for maintenance, as I want to keep everything working.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
Hi, this is Sophie Winnick, longtime distributor and user of Longevity products. In the last few years, my family went through a crisis. Everything else in my life, including my business, had to be put on the back burner. Thankfully, life is getting back to normal now. But the one thing I never had to worry about was my business and my monthly commission. I've been a distributor for Longevity for over 17 years, since before it was Longevity. And I've got to say, the most amazing thing about this company is the people. While my family was in crisis, other distributors stepped in and helped my customers, simply because that's what Longevity people do, even for people they don't know. For me, it has never been about getting rich. It was about a product I could stand behind, a company I could count on, and a monthly commission check that has never, not once, been late. In 17 years, Longevity is truly a business for everyone, even people who have too much to do. I'm Sophie Winnick. I'm just like you. I have a real life, real ups and downs, but I know I will always have Longevity.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Class meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8. And Joe is with us. John Regan's with us. Joe in Kansas, you were telling us about homeowners insurance, something we need to know.
Yeah, I wanted to just explain to the people the difference between the two types of coverage that covers their personal property in their home. And every company is basically the same on this. There's two types of coverage. The first being what's called ACV, and that stands for actual cash value. The second type of coverage is what's called replacement cost. You have one or the other when it comes to your personal property, and that's all the contents in your home, from your clothes, your TVs, your firearms, your books, your cookware, everything that your home contains inside its walls. What actual cash value is they are going to give you, let's say your house burns halfway down and your bedroom and living room are affected. You had a 32-inch flat screen TV that was 5 years old. Your sofa, you'd always talked about getting new furniture. It's about 10 years old and whatnot. What the insurance adjuster is going to do is he's going to come in there and he's going to look at that 5-year-old flat screen TV, 32-inch, and he's not going to give you money to go out and buy a 32-inch flat screen TV at Walmart. He's going to depreciate that and say, you can go get a used 5-year-old 32-inch flat screen TV at a pawn shop. And he's going to give you what you can get at the pawn shop for. He's going to go to that 10-year-old sofa and not give you money to replace that sofa. He's going to give you what a 10-year-old sofa would sell for at a garage sale or at a consignment store. And so when it comes to the contents of your house, you're going to be paying a premium rate, and you're going to get pennies on the dollar back for your contents. And one of the shady things I used to see in the industry is that not even explaining this coverage to people, just defaulting them to the actual cash value. That way, if there was ever a catastrophic fire or event, you're not going to be able to replace the contents of your house. You're going to get pennies on the dollar for it. The other type of coverage is what's called replacement cost. They now have to cut you a check for what it would cost to replace a 32-inch TV. The 5-year depreciation does not even come into it. They have to replace, where you would go out at Walmart. Now, you're not going to go get the 3D TV, the newest top of the line, but they're going to give you a reasonable dollar amount so that you can actually go out and replace your clothes and your personal property, and be made whole, be made indemnified. So that's a very important coverage that people, I think, should go to their homeowner's insurance policy as soon as this show's over and go look and see if you have actual cash value, ACV, or RP, replacement cost, on your personal belongings inside your home.
Joe, we'd have to be crazy to want to have actual cash value because we're going to take into the cleaners every time, right?
Absolutely. And it's completely up to them what they think the actual cash value of that item is. And they don't have it there. So it could have been an antique. You could say, hey, this has been in my family from 18 years old. Well, to them, that's a benefit. Hey, it's a 110-year-old dresser. You know what I mean? It's not an antique. It's just a 110-year-old, falling apart piece of wood. So it may have been worth $5,000, but what's the actual cash value? If you don't have that actually scheduled, that's another thing. Firearms, jewelry, anything worth about more than $500 should be what's called scheduled. And that's where you list it item by item, line item on your insurance policy. Most policies come with a standard jewelry reimbursement. It covers theft, it covers whatever, for about $2,500. Anything above $20,000, but that's all they'll pay. So if you've got $10,000 worth of jewelry sitting in your house and you get robbed, you're going to get $2,500 in max, plus your deductible, of course. Anything that's of any real value, antiques, firearms, artwork, it all needs to be scheduled on a line item. And usually appraisals will go with that. And usually things over about $1,500 to $2,000 they'll ask for an appraisal on. So just definitely things to know.
John Regan, your thoughts?
Yeah, and it also goes into health insurance, too. I remember talking with the controller at the management company I worked for, and we had a decent insurance plan. But, she was saying, why do we have it? It doesn't cover anything.
Yeah. Good point. Hey, Joe, please send me an email, and if you don't mind, and let's get you on the air where we can talk about insurance.
Yeah, and there's a good chance I'll see you tonight, Vince.
Hey, great. Joe Acapente from Kansas City, Mo. Meet up tonight, 4:45 at Jimmy's Egg. John Regan, we're going to miss seeing you. It's always great to see John Regan at the meetup. He's able to wipe the smile off our face in like seconds. It's always great to hear the truth from John Regan. John, I'll be back tomorrow. More of John Regan. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.